Hey everyone, we are going to try the Spinsucks Inquisition a little bit differently for the month of December. Corina has been pushing me to do more video. We were going to do this on Blab, but I'm not quite there yet. So we're recording video through Zoom, which is the new tool that we love to use for our staff meetings. So hi.
Hi.
I see you all the time, so it's not like I could do. But. All right, so the normal question for the Inquisition is, what is the biggest mistake you've made in your career? But I'm going to revise that for you and ask, what is the biggest mistake you've made in the last 6 months?
Oh, that's a harsh question. Well, it's been 6 months only, so it shouldn't be that hard.
Right? Well, you went out on your own a year ago, right?
Yeah, true.
And you've been working with us for 6 months.
6 months, exactly.
Right. So is there a mistake that you've made?
While working with us, with you, no.
Yeah.
Before that, what I'm thinking is not choosing the right moment to let the client go. And I think when someone just launch on their own, that's pretty much a common mistake to make.
Yes.
That time when you should break it up with your client, but you're still, maybe we'll solve this, maybe we'll find a common path and things will work out in the end. But the lesson I learned is that you have to value yourself. If you don't value yourself, nobody will value you. So you have to put a price on your time, on your knowledge, on everything, and ask for it. And if people don't appreciate that, don't appreciate the insight you give them, what you did for them, it's time to move on. It might hurt in the end. Yeah, sure. Maybe the income is good, but on the long run, it's not a wise business decision, because you can focus on bringing in new clients, high paying clients, and so on. You're stuck with doing work basically for free, because what I found is this type of clients, I don't have so much experience as you do, but what I found in this short time is that those clients that don't necessarily value, they are very demanding. Yes. They're asking all the time for stuff.
Yes.
Oh, and this is how it is. You have to pay me for this. Why? It's just a question.
Right.
And so on.
I know, but it took me 5 hours to get you an answer.
Yeah, exactly. That counts.
Right.
So that would be my biggest mistake, to let go.
I would agree with that. And I think too that it is hard, especially when you look at the income side of things and you go, oh, can I afford to lose this kind of client? But I think what you always find is that you not only replace the income fairly quickly, but sometimes even double or triple it. So
exactly.
That's painful though.
Yeah, it is.
What industry advice or practice would you most like to cry foul on?
Ooh, that's a good one. There are many, but what drives me crazy, nuts, if you want, how do you say? I forgot the term. The number of followers. Vanity metrics. Yeah, yep. It came from vanity metrics.
Yep.
Everyone, brands putting so much focus on the numbers of fans and followers, on those metrics that actually don't bring you anything. It's very nice to see a number there on the screen, whether on Twitter, Facebook, or whatever social channel you're on. But what does this do for you as a business? To the end, to the sales, right? Because we live from sales. We want to sell things to have income. So what does this do for you? You have 1,000, 2,000, or 1 million followers. If you don't have an engaged community, you have nothing actually. You're just throwing out their content, you're throwing things out, but it doesn't stick, so to speak.
Right.
So
right.
You better have 10, 100 very engaged fans or followers that comment constantly on your page and share your content, which is the most important, than 1,000 and do nothing. I mean, is it nice to have 8K views on a tweet or on a Facebook post? Maybe, but what does this mean?
Right.
I mean, did someone took an action after that tweet? I mean, does someone retweet it? Or maybe share it, or maybe comment it? No. So you know, what's the fun of having it if you don't have an outcome? So that's vanity metrics drive me nuts, actually.
So that begs the question then, what do you think about Twitter getting rid of the count numbers?
Wow, I should have thought of that. Well, I don't think it affects so much. Yeah, I know we present to our clients, you know, we have so many retweets for this tweet, this particular tweet, but in the end, you can still go in the analytics of Twitter, for example, and in Google Analytics for your blog or website, and see actually how much traffic that particular tweet or tweets in the last week, month, whatever, brought to you. How many visitors? How many of them took any kind of action, and so on. So it's not like, okay, they removed the counting, so now we're dead now. We can't do anything else in social media. We have to drop Twitter and move to something else. No, it's not. I don't think it has nothing to do. It's just something.
I kind of hope it's a nice trend in that people, executives, clients stop asking for those kinds of numbers, because now it's not available, right?
Yeah.
At least on Twitter. So hopefully maybe that starts to change the conversation.
Exactly. And the rest of them will take action, like Facebook, for example.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see in the next couple of years what happens.
Absolutely.
So speaking of the next couple of years, what do you think is one of the biggest trends going into the new year?
Wow. Well, visual.
Which you're always pushing me on. Always.
Yeah, absolutely. And more live conversations. Live video. I'm telling you all the time about Blab, but actually people do like this. I'm watching from time to time what happens on Blab, and there are many people starting to professionals, I mean PR professional, marketing professionals, and from other industries starting to adopt this trend, because people like to jump in live, to comment, to have the spotlight, so to speak. So this is a trend brands should focus on, of course, where it makes sense. If you're not a very communicative or very open brand, you won't jump in on a Blab and all of a sudden start spreading everything. But I think this will be the biggest change in adopting live conversations with followers, with community.
Who do you think's doing a nice job of it now?
As a brand.
Brand or a personal brand or a corporate brand?
Okay. I've watched personal brands, and I think Mark Schaffer, he's doing quite a good job. He does social media questions, something like that it's called, and or consultation, if I'm not mistaken. And he just transformed it in a regular one, once a week. He has a guest, and they discuss a particular trend on that week or that month, and they have quite a lot of questions and interactions on their blabs. I've seen one of them live, and the rest I've seen the recordings.
All right, Mark it is. What's one thing about yourself that would surprise people? I have one if you don't have one.
Okay. Well, I would like to hear yours. I will give you mine, but I would love to hear yours.
Go ahead, you go first.
Okay, thank you. Well, I said it in the last Inquisition. I do love, and I do anything for my pet, for my German Shepherd Rex. We brought him from Romania. Actually, when we changed countries, bringing him with us, it was the biggest decision whether we should move to Spain or not. If it wasn't possible to bring him, we probably wouldn't have moved. Yeah, I know. My parents told me, "You are nuts. You are crazy. How can you?" Yeah, but I cannot live with myself.
No, I get that.
Yeah. So you have JB, so you know.
Yeah, he's very naughty, but yes, I do.
Yeah. So that would be the most surprising, that I would go overboard for him.
I don't think that's surprising at all. I would say that the one thing about you that would surprise most people is you don't sleep. I'm convinced you're a robot. And here's why. For everybody watching this, Corina works East Coast hours, which is 6 hours ahead of the East Coast. So, but like I will get Slack messages from her at 3:30 my time in the morning, which is 10:30 her time. And then I'll be slacking with her easily from bed, which I'm sure is too much information, but I'll be laying in bed slacking with you, and it's 8:00 my time, or 9, sometimes even as late as 9:00 my time. So when do you sleep?
After slacking with you.
There. I think you're a robot.
Well, you too. So
we breed robots here.
Exactly.
What's the best book you've read in the last 6 months?
Well, I have to bring again Mark Schaffer, The Content Code, his latest book. And it's quite a must read for every PR professional and marketing professional. It really talks about the future of the content and how brands can succeed in this sea of information. We are flooded from everywhere, and he calls it the content shock.
Mm-hmm.
What's happening right now with the amount of information we receive daily as users, but also as brands. And what should we do next, or what brands and PR professionals should do next to make their message to spread, to get to the right audience. And it's a very good book. I think, like I said, it's a must read. That would be one. And I have another one. I just started yet. I'm not. First page. It's the latest edition of David Meerman Scott.
Really?
Yeah, I just got it, and it looks interesting. I'm really curious to see if there is any difference between what Mark says and what David will say. I'm pretty curious about that. For now,
yeah, I'll be interested to hear.
Yeah,
we'll discuss.
These two
we will discuss.
Absolutely.
So, did you recently buy a treadmill?
Yes, I did.
Tell us why.
Well, that's because of Laura. It's her fault.
It is her fault. I agree.
Yeah,
we can blame her.
I don't know. I think it was the first or the second team meeting that we had, and she mentioned that she was on the treadmill. I always was asked what kind of desk she might have, that she's always at standing,
Mm-hmm.
So when she said, I'm on the treadmill, that was like, oh my God, that's the solution. Because I don't actually have times, or this is the excuse that I give myself. I don't have actually time to train.
That's because you work and don't sleep. So.
Basically.
Yes, I'm aware.
So having a treadmill and installing a treadmill desk is the solution to exercise and work, or
it is. You can do both. You're multitasking very well.
Yeah. So actually, when she mentioned that, the very same day, I dropped everything. I went. No, that's true. And I went to. We have here a store. I'm not sure if it's in the US. It's called Decathlon. It's a European brand. Bought it. It didn't enter in our car because it was too big.
Right.
So we had to move the back seats, and we basically had the doors open. Please don't say anyone.
Oh, no.
Exactly.
You're like holding on so it doesn't fall out.
Exactly. So imagine. But I couldn't wait. They said we can deliver it to you in 3-4 days, and I couldn't
wait.
So imagine that. Yeah, I'm crazy sometimes. Most of the time.
Next time we do this, I expect that you'll be on your treadmill. And I'll be
Absolutely.
on my bike that has my desk. How's that?
Okay, great. It's a deal.
All right. Well, thank you. This was a good test. We'll see if it works. And if it does, and you're right, then we'll continue doing it.
Thank you so much.